According to Neil deGrasse Tyson, renowned scientist of our day, one of the greatest contributions to astronomy is the Gregorian calendar created by the Catholic Church in 1582, in which most of the world uses today. It was named after Pope Gregory. Pope Gregory seen many problems in the Julian calendar and had his Jesuits priests figure out a way to make a more accurate calendar, which took a lot of scientific knowledge, a lot of mathematical knowledge, way beyond what I'm able to explain. But the Jesuits priests had contributed over the years so much to astronomy that 35 lunar craters are named after Jesuit priests. In fact, the Big Bang Theory was thought of by a Catholic priest, Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian priest. I may be pronouncing his name wrong, but if you Google Georges Lemaitre, you'll see that he created the Big Bang Theory. The study of earthquakes, Jesuit priests have contributed so much to that science that science is nicknamed the Jesuit science. And I could go down a list of hundreds and hundreds of Catholic priests who contributed to science, scientific, established science that we know today, established by Catholic priests. And when I tell my atheist friends this, they usually say, well, they just so happen to be Catholic. But no, the Catholic Church has funded more scientific endeavors than any organization in history. So, private organization in history. I'm sure NASA and the Russian Space Center have more money to spare. But private contributions, I should say, because I do have some critics here, they will point that out, I guarantee you. So, with all this, just looking at history to see everything that the Catholic Church has done for the progress of science and the progress of humanity. For example, the university system as we know it today was created by the Catholic Church. The Western legal system created by the Catholic Church. Architect, there's so much, I can go on and on. In fact, it's not too much to say that the Catholic Church has made Western civilization what it is today. Not in spite of the Catholic Church, but because of the Catholic Church, Western civilization is one of the greatest civilizations known to man as far as advancements and progress. So why do so many atheists try to tell us that the Catholic Church hinders progress and is anti-science? I'm going to give you the only reason they ever give me, and then I'm going to give you what I think the true reason is behind it. So the only reason they can ever come up with is the Galileo controversy. So Galileo pushed forth the theory of this guy, Nicholas Copernicus, if I'm saying his name right. I'm bad with old names, but this guy Nicholas said that Aristotle was wrong, and I want to make sure I get it right. He believed the world was he believed in the heliocentric theory, that the sun was at the center of the solar system versus what Aristotle believed, geocentric, which the earth was at the center of the solar system. So when the story goes, when Galileo came up and said Nicholas Copernicus was right and Aristotle was wrong, the Pope condemned him, tortured him, and that was it. He was anti-science. The truth is, if you look at history, there's a lot more to it than that, okay? In fact, when Galileo was studying this, the church was funding him to find out the truth. And the Jesuit priests that I just told you about that created this Gregorian calendar, they were excited. They loved Galileo, and they wanted to hear his proof. Unfortunately, the science at that time couldn't prove it. Though his theory was right, he couldn't prove it. So all the scientists at that time said, you haven't proved it. So the Pope said, you haven't proved it. It can be a theory, but until you prove it, you can't state it as an absolute truth. Galileo made the mistake of saying, no, this is an absolute truth, and going from the field of science to the field of theology, pronouncing this as a truth. That's where he got in trouble with the Catholic Church. And the Catholic Church didn't torture him. They just told him he can't say it's a truth. And they banished him to like a home, he had to stay at home, basically in jail at home. But it stayed in a nice palace, and the Catholic Church still funded some of his works, and he wrote 2 more books after that. So he wasn't hindered. He just couldn't state that that was an absolute truth at the time because the science wasn't there. Even scientists today say he didn't prove it. His theory was right. He knew it was right, but he just couldn't prove it. So that's the only argument that atheists have, that Catholic Church is anti-science. But I believe it goes deeper than that. I believe it's the Marxist professors in our colleges teaching us kids that because they want them to hate the Catholic Church. I remember when President Obama was running for president the first time, I did my research on him and I read his book. And in his book, he said he loved to listen to his Marxist professors. They were his favorite professors. So I Googled Marxist professors and some of them what they believed. And they were all atheists, and it goes hand in hand. Marxism and atheism, socialism and atheism. The difference is Marxism and communism will force you not to be religious by the gun. They'll kill you if you worship God in any way they say is wrong. Socialism will make laws making it hard to worship God, because both socialism and communism wants your God to be the state, wants your God to be the government, wants you to worship government, want you to have a bigger, more powerful government rather than a bigger, more powerful God, because they believe that the government needs to give you your rights. Therefore, the government can take your rights away. Where religious people believe that our rights come from God. So no government can take our rights away. So that's where the problem comes from. Not because they truly believe this, it's because they don't want us to believe in God. So these Marxists from the 60s all went into become college professors, and they got into government, and this explains why Barack Obama said when he was running for president the first time that these people in Pennsylvania are bitter, they cling to their guns, they cling to their God, and they cling to their Bible. And the term bitter clingers came from that. I'm sure most of you have heard that term, bitter clingers. That's an Obama term. And even during the first time Obama was running for president, for political reasons, they wanted to reach out to Christians because they knew there was a lot of Christians they needed to reach to win. They put in their platform that God was instrumental in blessing America. And when they announced it over the loudspeaker, everybody in the stadium booed. So basically the Democrat delegates booed God. But like we've seen with Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, the party bosses will override the people in the party, and they put it in their platform, again, for political reasons. But you see, when Obama became president, he attacked religious organizations, especially we know about the Little Sisters of the Poor, the nuns he attacked viciously and sued, and all the hundreds and hundreds of pro-life religious organizations that they pressured, sued, audited. So when these atheists say they're against the Catholic Church because Catholics are anti-religion and anti-progress, what they really mean is we don't want people to trust the Catholic Church. We want them to trust the government. And 9 out of 10 atheists are liberal, Democrats, socialists, communists, all the same. So there you have it, my take on why atheists lie and say Catholics are anti-science and anti-progress. Hope that was helpful. I'm no scientist. I would recommend a great book by Thomas Woods. He's not a science either, but he has 4 Ivy League degrees. His name is Thomas Woods. And the name of the book is How the Catholic Church Built Western Civilizations. If you're a Christian, Protestant, or Catholic, I highly recommend you read this book. And if you're an atheist who believes the Catholic Church is anti-science, I believe you should read it so you can better argue your position. Because like Thomas Aquinas said, the best way to win a debate is to attack your opponent's strongest point. And this book gives some strong points in why the Catholic Church is pro-progress and pro-science. Hope this was helpful. God bless. Stay Catholic.